Welcome to the Golden Gaze. Life after 60, truly unscripted. I'm Larry.
I'm Rob.
And we're excited to just have conversations with our life and just see what comes from it.
All right, my name is Rob. I'm 67 years old. I'm originally from New York. That's why I have this delightful accent. And I am divorced with 2 grown children, a soon-to-be 46-year-old son and a 38-year-old daughter. I'm an attorney, and I live in Katy, Texas, and I am single. Single.
I'm Larry. I also was married to a woman and am divorced. I have 3 sons that are 42, 40, and 37. And I am retired. I was a school teacher and a professor. I grew up all over the world. My dad was in the Navy and later a minister with the Church of the Nazarene. So I've lived most of my life as a child on the island of Guam.
I would like this to be an organic conversation with topics that pertain to growing older as a gay man, because I think we have certain issues that straight men don't have to share, that don't share. And maybe there are some commonalities, obviously, with straight men as well. But some of the issues probably are uniquely to gay men. So and I'd like to be aging over 60, gay men, relationships. I want it to be a very candid, kind of a raw conversation. Whatever comes up, comes up. There might be some things that make people uncomfortable. It might make me uncomfortable. And if it does, I'll say it's making me uncomfortable. You should do the same.
Yeah.
Because that's just life. And there are certain things, and I think that we're underrepresented as gay men over 60 years old. And actually, I'm 67, so I can say over 65 years old. So I think that, we're underrepresented, and I think that this would be a good forum to discuss things that pertain to us. So what do you want to talk about?
Well, I also want this just to be just conversation and whatever comes up. So that, if this becomes a successful podcast, it will live beyond this moment in time.
Right.
I am overwhelmed with talking about politics. So
I don't want to talk.
I don't want to talk about politics.
We already know how we feel about politics, so I don't want it to be a Trump bashing session. Because there's a lot of that going on, and I do a lot of it my own as well on Facebook. So I don't want to talk about politics. It might be inevitable that it'll come up.
Yeah, it'll probably come up some, but
I don't want to focus on it because there's so much negativity. That's not the purpose, I don't think, of this podcast.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And if our target is 30 to 45 minutes, if 20 minutes of that is talking politics,
we can. I don't think that would.
Yeah, we can make a whole podcast just on that. But,
absolutely.
But I don't want to do that because then it'll live beyond this time. Maybe it'll live beyond us.
You never know at this age. Don't tell. You never know how long that'll be. So, absolutely.
Well, based on this week, something that's on my mind, we're actually 2 days after we had planned to schedule this because Rob's mom's in the hospital. This is just my impression, because we're single gay men. I think it's either purposefully or accidentally, or it's just the way it is. I think caring for our aging mothers falls to us more because, well, you're single and you don't have all this other stuff. And so I know Rob has his mom living with him. My mother moved to Houston 1 mile down the road from me, and I was over there helping her with some things as well. And sometimes I feel alone and isolated as the only one who's going to care for my mom, but I know she's got other people that love her as well. So I think that's something that's common to probably all people over 60. But if you're single and over 60, I think it's expected that you have more responsibility.
I think that's true. I also think that gay sons maybe get closer to with their mother. I don't know. That's just this is an unprofessional opinion. I'm not a mental professional.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel that maybe even parents who say that they don't want a gay son, they get along. I mean, your mother, I know that with church, she's not the most pro-gay, right?
Yeah.
But overall, I think that you get along with her because that's who you are. You are gay, and that's part of your personality. And I think that your mother probably gets along with that. You know what I mean? There are certain qualities that gay men have. I think maybe that, and I say this now, but I know that I'm very short with my mother. It's the whole topic. I don't have a lot of patience with my mother. I'll be honest. I mean, she's living with me now, so it's very stressful, and there's a lot of pressure. She's not the easiest person. But let me just tell you the good things, though, about my mother. I am very fortunate. We have different mothers. I mean, his mother's great, too. My mother is very open-minded, so I don't have any issues about that. I mean, there's no issues with any kind of religious problems going on where she says I'm going to hell or fire and brimstone. She supports me 100%. She loves my gay friends. She's gone to a gay bar with me. She's gone to a drag show. I could not ask for a more open-minded person. She's 99 years old, and I think it's exceptional that my mother at this age can be so accepting. Not only of me, but even like for the trans community. She doesn't understand why they're being treated this way right now. So, I mean, it's remarkable for her.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
Especially at her age.
My mother said to me, and I'll never forget this, now that she's 99, really, honestly, coming to the end of her life, she said, I know that what they say about gay men isn't true because I hear all these horrible things, but I know who you are, and you're none of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very moving for me. I mean, it's stayed with me a long time. So, I mean, I can't be any luckier than, I mean, I know a lot of gay men have parents that disown them, don't want to talk to them, say they'd rather have a dead son than a gay son. I've never had that. I mean, I'm very fortunate. Even though my mother, my mother was 99, she grew up in a time when the word gay didn't even really exist. And she did have the only thing I heard her say negative, she had a hairdresser and she said he was a fairy. I'll never forget that. But I mean, that's nothing. I mean,
Yeah, and that was kind of like common language.
It was common language
amongst people not.
But my mother and father never said a negative word about really anybody. And my father grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, and there was a lot of racial tension back then.
Mm-hmm.
And his mother was horrible. She was prejudiced. She couldn't stand black people. If they were on television, she threw a shoe at them. She was really bad. But my father never ever brought that into the family and raised us that way. We never had any. There was never any negative comments made about any other race or anything. So I was very fortunate with that. And my mother as well. So I have to say that was a blessing. If you could give your kids one gift, and I think that we've given I know I've given my children that. I hope they're watching. That they are open-minded and they are very accepting, and they're not closed-minded at all. I mean, that's I feel if I've done anything, I've been successful for that.
That's good. That's good.
So
I also feel blessed in that area, in that my parents were teenagers when I was born, so they weren't that much older than me. But growing up, because we lived all around the world, many times of my life, most of my life, I lived where I was the minority. Living on the island of Guam for 5 years, I was the minority. Even the 2.5 years we lived in Scotland when I was very small, Americans were not looked well upon by the Scottish people where we lived because, well, Americans, it's not just now, but all the way back, I lived there from 1969 to 1972, Americans were arrogant, rude, and wasteful. Well, we were. And so if you were American, you were already the minority when you were living there. Now, we were lucky enough that we were very involved in the local church there, and we had local friends. We didn't live in the American community. My dad took a little ferry boat across the river every morning to work because we wanted to live with the Scottish people. And so even sometimes when I have issues with my mama, she's not racist. My dad's not racist.
Your mother was racist.
Now there's some people in their families that have some racism.
Your mother had a lot of Hispanic friends. She was very active in the church, right, with Hispanics and immigration. Correct?
Yeah, after they retired, my parents were members of a Spanish-speaking church, and they did stuff with that.
Now, maybe the gay issue might be a whole different story.
Yeah, well, she has come a long way. And we've had conversations. Well, I know now that people don't choose to be gay, and that's and then she's had plenty of time now.
How could it be a sin?
Think,
it's not possible. Think about it. I don't understand.
Well, being gay, in her mind, being gay is not a sin.
Oh, but acting on it, practicing. If you're
but your actions, your verbs, which is something that I.
So as long as you're a non-practicing homosexual, you're okay.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense.
It's kind of like if someone said, it's not a sin to have blue eyes, but it would be a sin if you try to look through them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's an odd. That's odd to think that somebody would believe God made you that way, but then said, "But don't act on it."
Yeah,
it doesn't seem very logical to me.
Yeah, and
this whole thing, though, we should talk about this too. Being that we were both had marriages, and I think that gay men that have been married have a different. Obviously, they have a different history than gay men who have not been married, and I think they're somewhat different people. Is that safe to say?
I would think so. As a father and as a grandfather, I am different.
I think that part of it is that once, like, you've changed a kid's diaper and have poo-poo on your hands and had to suck the snot out of their nose
with a little
smidge, you realize that you're not the center of the universe, and it changes you as a person. And I think that, and I know a lot of gay men are not going to want to hear this, so that many gay men have never learned that lesson, and they still think they're the center of the universe.
Yeah, it's all about me always.
And it's always about them, and they don't know how to give and take, maybe in a relationship. Yeah. So I think that's why there's a difference, which is why I like men that have been married. I don't want to say who are married, but who have been married, because I think that I can relate better with them, which is another whole subject about being married and being a gay man. I think, and I don't want to drone on, but I'm going to talk anyway, that sexuality is on a continuum. And you have one being totally heterosexual, and 10, maybe it should be the other way around, I don't know, 10 being totally homosexual. I think you fall in the continuum.
Yes, yeah.
And I think that some people are a 1. I believe that. And I think some people are a 10. I really do. I think that.
I think that's a minority. I think most people are 3 to 7.
Okay, but I think that some people might not, some people fall in the middle. Right now, I would say I'm a 7. I can, again, be with a woman and be comfortable. I can be fine. I can perform sexually with a woman. I mean, I don't want to, I don't know if that's too much to talk about, but I mean, I could. So I fall somewhere on the continuum. And a lot of gay men don't want to ever hear that there is such thing exists as bisexuality. The old expression, bi now, gay later.
Yeah.
The play on words. So I think that there is such a thing as maybe bisexuality. And at this point in my life, I connect better with men sexually and psychologically, better with men. But there was a time, and I don't want to mention any names about being married, and I certainly don't really want to talk about personal with my ex-wife, because that's not fair to her.
Right.
So, but I mean, I was happily married, and I wasn't with a man until. Am I talking too much? Telling too many things?
No.
I wasn't with a man until I was 42 years old, and that was after my divorce. I had never been with a man my whole life, and what happened was after my divorce, which to me was devastating. I won't go into the details, but it was devastating to me emotionally. So I had to decide who I was going to be from that point forward in my life. And I was very depressed. I remember that the doctor gave me some bottle of pills, Transine, I remember very well, and I kept them in my pocket. And he said, take one in the morning and take one in the afternoon, and that was 2 a day. Well, I decided that was not quite enough, so I took one every 2 hours, and it was really wonderful. I have to admit, at the time I needed it. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't function, so it was very necessary. But I remember going to get my hair cut, and didn't have my pills with me, and they wore off. And everything came racing to me really bad. I mean, it was terrible, like a rush. And I realized then that I couldn't survive taking those pills. So I threw them away. I mean, I don't want to go into a big dramatic thing like it was a rehab. That's not the case at all. I threw them away is what I did. Stopped taking them. But I had to decide then who I was as a person, because my life, I felt like the rug had been ripped out from under me and I was no longer that person. So I had to decide who I was, and I decided that maybe I should explore that other part of my sexuality, which I knew that I was attracted to men, during my lifetime, even though it was something that was never out on the surface. And that's when I decided to explore that part. And it's, to be honest, it saved my life because it was rather a fun time and living on the fringe. Do you know what I mean? What's your experience? Might have been different.
Well, there were several things that you talked about that I connect with. Well, the idea about I've had 4 relationships with men that survived over amount of time. One for 4 years, and 3 others that were less than a year each. And when I look at the one looking back, hindsight is good because you can look back and you can see things you didn't see when you were there. But the 2 men that I dated exclusively for short to 4 years. 4 years is kind of a long time. We don't think of that in hetero world, that dating someone 4 years being a long time, but in gay world, 4 years is a long time.
It's a long time.
But the man I dated for 4 years, and one of the men that I dated for, well, it was really less than a year, but we saw each other over a 2-year period, and they both had been married and had kids, and I found that we were more compatible in other ways. Just our emotional compatibility, because we were parents and grandparents. Well, we weren't all grandparents like the 4 year. I didn't have grandkids, but there was just something different. And then the issues I had with the other 2 is they didn't understand. One of them was well, this is actually just someone that I was friends with, a whole other person whose birthday is July 4th. I have a son whose birthday is July 3rd. And we were just friends. And one year he wanted us to go do something for his birthday on July 4th. I says, well, my son's birthday is July 3rd. So we did. He said, well, you were with him last year.
Right.
And it's like, he really couldn't understand why I couldn't choose to go be with him, my friend, and we weren't in a relationship. Why I couldn't go to it, because, well, you were with your son last year. You don't have to spend every birthday with him. Right. And it's like, in my mind, yes, I do have to spend every birthday with my kids if it's possible. And it's not a have to, it's a want to.
Right.
It's a genuine want. Even Father's Day brunch that I always have on a Saturday with one son and one grandson who live here in Houston. And they always have a little gift and everything. And I say, this is really not necessary, but thank you. The only gift I really want from you is your time, and spending time just sitting here talking and eating with me is all I really want. And that's not to say that people who haven't been fathers could experience that.
Yeah, but
could that?
They are definitely different.
It's a whole other thing.
It is.
The draw you have because of your kids and your grandkids can't be replaced by, even when you get irritated with them.
Yeah.
The amount of time that I can get over being upset with one of my children is much shorter than if a friend did that. You know what I mean?
Right. There is definitely a difference. I mean, I think that a man that has been openly gay for a long period of time and not been married to even a woman, or maybe even a man, just being in a relationship, are very different than someone who has not been. When I went on a date, I'll never forget this. The second guy I went on a date with, and we were sitting in the bar, and because that was the hub of the gay world, even back then, even in 2000, So he asked me how many men I'd been with, and I said 1, and that was true. I said, well, what about you? And he said, 1,500. And I almost fell out of my chair. But I thought about it, and I realized he was 55. And he had been out since he was 15. That's 40 years.
Yeah.
So even at 1 man a week is 52 a year, and 40 years is 2,000. So he was short.
Yeah, he probably,
And that was before AIDS. So, I mean, he would probably have with multiple partners. I mean, so, 1,500 was not that out of whack, which is a whole nother subject with gay men, because let's face facts, I think overall, gay men have more partners than straight men.
I would say that's probably true.
I would. But I've always
Because
said,
there's nobody saying no.
I always said if there was a place for straight men to go during their lunchtime to have sex with women, they'd line up around the block. That's the truth. I really believe that.
Yeah.
Because men are men. Mm-hmm. And I think that men, and I'm not speaking for women, just my opinion, but I think that men have I think that, I don't want to say they're very sexual, women aren't, because some of the women's going to get mad when I say that, but I think that men maybe have an easier time having quick, easy sex rather than a woman, and have unattached sex, maybe?
Well, it's probably true that men are not as emotionally and mentally connected to the
and
actual
men are also
sex
they're also
act.
very visual men.
Yeah.
So they're very visual, and men are taught at an early age that it's get in, get out, get off, get out. I mean, really, that's and men can be very quick about it, and women might need a little more time maybe to get to that point, and men don't need as much time, so it's quicker.
Yeah, could be.
So that's just my opinion. I'm not sure I'm going to get messages that say, what do you know? Well, I don't know anything. That's just
I'm not now, nor have I ever been a woman, so I really can't speak for a woman.
And maybe
it's just what I think.
Maybe women have. I don't know that in the straight world if they have as many hookups as gay men have. I kind of think
I don't think
that they do, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. I haven't had these kind of conversations.
I don't know.
Maybe we might have to have
a straight person,
some lesbians over 60 as guests on our show sometime.
I don't think. And I could be wrong. I'm saying this, and lesbians are going to bash me. I don't think. I'm thinking that lesbians don't meet online and then go have sex. Do they?
I don't know. Is there a grinder for girls? I don't know.
That proves a point. I don't think there is. So there you go. That's probably there's probably a reason for that. Because I think that women tend to be a little more touchy-feely. Maybe, again, this is all conjecture, but that maybe they need something more than just meeting and not knowing who their names or having a quick. I don't really know if that's true or not. I don't know.
All right.
But I do think that gay men have more partners than straight men. I think I would venture to say that the average gay man probably has had. Well, when I say this, maybe not. Maybe there's some that haven't. But I wouldn't think that several hundred. I would say 3 to 5.
I would say 200 would be a low number.
Low.
Yeah.
That's what I would probably say. I mean, I think that's probably realistic.
Okay.
I mean, don't you? 200 is low.
I think that's a low number. All right. So we've been going about 25 minutes.
Oh, okay. That went fast.
We're doing it.
I think it's moving along fine. It's very organic. I think the
conversations you and I just naturally have because we've been friends 20 years. Right. So there's really nothing we haven't talked about.
No, it's true. Yeah. I mean, and I tend to be kind of an open book about many things. Yeah. I'm not really one to, if people ask me, I mean, I don't mind telling them. I'm not.
Yeah. I'm not. Earlier you kind of said, you were talking about kids. Well, we were talking about, your parents being very non-racist and welcoming to other people, and you think you did a good job with your kids. I hope you're watching. I kind of had to say, I hope my kids. To me, this podcast is not something I would want my kids and grandkids to watch in my current frame, especially what I want to say next.
Well, I told Liz I had. She said, "Well, do you want me to watch?" I don't think she'll probably watch. I don't think so.
No, it's not our target audience. Really.
No, it's not. It's not. And I mean, there are things that I might say that maybe I don't want them to hear. I don't know.
So if you are our kids or our grandkids,
turn off the camera. Turn off the thing.
You may not be our target audience. You're free to watch anything. But if you have questions, come to us. Or if you're watching this in the future when we're already dead, then maybe you might enjoy watching that. Well, what I was going to say is when we were talking about the number of partners and how two gay men might be more sexual than gay women.
We're going to get feedback on that.
Well, we do have a lot of good gay female friends and transgender friends as well. So, but we'll get some feedback on that, and it could be
we
that
might get some messages.
well, and that's okay, and it could be as this podcast goes, we write down some of the
Maybe
messages,
we're wrong.
and we have conversations. But what
We
I
might
what
need
I
a lesbian on here.
if you're talking about a straight woman and a straight man, there's really no, the man, it seems in our culture, the man's job is try to get some, and the woman's job is try to be a good girl.
Well, maybe that time has passed.
And part of it's our generation.
Maybe that's
too.
1950s from like the old show. I can't think of the name of the show. Old Donna Reed show.
Well, as men in our 60s and our culturalization and what we've been taught,
I think,
and so we probably have a lot of that. Just because we're gay and open and accepting doesn't mean we don't have our own baggage too, because we do.
Right.
But what I was going to say is, if I'm dating someone and I want to know if this is going, I need to know early on if we're going to be physically compatible. So I know what it's like to not be physically compatible with someone that you're with. And I don't want to do that again. And so I don't want to start dating someone and we've dated for 4 to 6 months and we've fallen in love with each other and we're not going to be physically compatible. That would be a disaster.
You don't get that right out of the way on the first date.
Well, maybe not the first. Well,
it is the first date. Let's be honest.
I will say that the one guy I met at church, and boy, did I want that to work because I met him at church,
Right.
But we weren't even spiritually compatible when we got down there. But I remember on our second date, I went to his house. He had reservations. He was late. But anyway, and so he gets there, and I told him, I said, I really do enjoy you. I've known you as a friend already for a long time. So that this dating thing, I'm liking. I says, but I have a fear. My fear is, what if we're not physically compatible? And he says, well, we'll find that out something. And I just looked at him and says, well, I know our second date, but I want to find out right now.
Well,
and we did, and we had to. He had to call and change his reservation because we were late. But and in the heteronormative world,
that's normal.
They would typical. Like if they were watching this, which that's not our audience. They'll say, oh, terrible.
Maybe not. Maybe that's not that unusual. I don't know.
Well, with all the religious stuff that I've got around me,
the second date is more unusual. The first date is probably more common, honestly. Usually, first dates, I think, are normal. That people end up.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because I've only had four people that I've dated for a length of time. Well, one we had already been friends for a while, and it was the first time we were together. Then it turned into more. But the second date, the guy from church, that was the last person I dated. I don't. Yeah, it was first time with the other two.
I think that's not unusual. I think that's pretty.
And one of them, typical. it was a weekend. He come to stay a weekend with me in Nacogdoches.
I mean, that's just the way it is. And I don't think there's anything. I'm going to be honest. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't have any issues with it. As I'm older, I mean, I think that there's nothing wrong with having one night stands. I mean, I just don't. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But
ideally, a part of me doesn't want one night stands.
Yeah.
But I also do not believe anybody should get married if they haven't experienced each other long enough to know their compatibility, and everybody's incompatible at some point. So
I kind of think that maybe at this time in my life, one night stands are better. Maybe.
Well,
is that bad to say? Well, I mean, I don't think I'm not seeing myself in a relationship. I just don't think that. I don't know. I'm kind of set in my ways, and I always say I would want a part-time boyfriend, not a full-time boyfriend. Maybe Monday, Wednesday, and one day on the weekends. Maybe 3 days.
Well,
3-day boyfriends.
And I don't know if it's because of the pandemic where I spent so much time alone. But I promise you, the pandemic changed me, and now, and I'm volunteering and I'm doing different things with some different church groups. But every Sunday night before I go to bed, I have to open up my Covey planner, just like I wasn't retired, and map out what's on all of my calendars and put it here so I can look a week at a glance to know what I'm doing. And I try to keep Monday with nothing, and I value having time on my calendar with nothing. And if I was in a relationship with someone and there was another person in this house, well, then I need a 10,000 square foot house because I'm still going to need my alone time.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live with anybody. I mean, I think my days of living with somebody are done. I don't really do not. And honestly, I don't even want somebody to spend the whole night because I'd rather sleep.
Well, occasionally I would like
myself.
Occasionally, I would like someone overnight, but in I wonder if is that part of just being over 60 and having been in long-term marriages,
maybe,
and having long periods of time being alone. I think sometimes the more you're alone, the less likely anyone's going to put up with you.
Well, that could be.
It's like,
yeah, I just don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think being alone is
well,
has its advantages.
I really enjoy my alone time.
mean,
would I like to find someone? And it's bing, head over heels, and we're compatible. I look for a quadrifecta of compatibility. That's not going to happen. They need to be intellectually compatible, emotionally, spiritually, and physical. And it's like, and they need to be in the right age. Well, our generation are the ones that died of AIDS, so there's not many people.
The dating pool is already very slim now. And if you have, and gay men often have a certain type, and maybe men in general have a certain type that they're looking for, but I think gay men especially, that's why there's so many different categories. There's cubs, there's chubs, there's muscle chubs, there's muscle bears, there's daddies, and I mean, it goes on and on and on, right? There's a lot of categories. And I think that many of us have a certain type of man that we're looking for. And in our age bracket, you're right, the AIDS virus killed a lot of our population. They would be alive now and it'd be our age. So that population is wiped out. So when you think about it, if you can find who's a man who's geographically attractive, right, and who fits the profile physically of what you like, and is in the age range of what you like, right?
And not a moron.
And not a moron, and has a job and maybe a car. There's probably two men.
Yeah. One for you and one for me, and we won't like them.
And they're probably married. So,
and they're wanting something on the side.
It's true. I mean, really. So you have to be realistic. If only 10% of the population is gay, right?
Well, 5 to 13, so 9's right in the middle.
Right, let's say even 9 or 10. Think about that. So 10%, you're already down to a smaller amount right off the bat. And depending on what area you're in, you might live in an area where there's not 10% of the people that could be,
Well, we're lucky if there's 0.5% of gay men our age because of AIDS.
And I'm in Katy, so I tell you, I'm in Katy. There are actually a lot of men that are online but overall, there's not that many gay men openly living in Katy. I mean, Katy is a very conservative area. So anybody who's living in Katy now, seriously.
Didn't Katy have like a Katy gay pride weekend?
They did, but it got canceled because it was at, I can't remember, one of those cyclone places, the water park, whatever it was. And it was canceled because they said they had threats. So the owners closed it. They canceled it for that reason. So I don't think that, Katy is probably, they have signs that say, and I don't want to get political, they do have signs that say Jesus Christ is my Lord and Trump is my president. That should tell you enough. They're very conservative.
Yeah.
Look at these shoes. I wore them into HEB. I don't think you can see them in the camera, can you? No, maybe not.
I think the camera's from here up.
Oh, my God, I can't get my leg that high. Maybe so.
Well, you're showing the bottom of it.
Oh, well, these shoes. And
his shoes are pink.
I get a lot of looks.
Pink army boots.
On these shoes in Katy till I went to HEB.
Yeah.
But, I don't limit what I wear by the color.
Yeah.
But I get a lot of compliments too, though.
Okay.
Because, you're looking at them like they're very odd.
No.
I like bright colors, obviously.
In the great expanse of your wardrobes on multiple floors of your house, those wouldn't even be in the top 10 shocking
You
things
think?
you have.
I don't
Those
think
aren't
I have
shocking.
that. I mean, I don't think.
No, but to me, those aren't shocking
Well, they're
at
not
all.
shocking, but a lot of men don't wear pink. Although a lot of men of color aren't afraid to wear pink.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. I mean, I get a lot of compliments from straight black men and women. Uh, a lot of black men and women actually will compliment me on my clothes because if you ever notice, they are not scared of wearing color at all.
Yeah.
Do you see them going to church? They have hats that match, and the men their husbands have matching shoes and clothes that match the woman. They coordinate their colors. So
Well, you're very
gay men, black men dress better than this is going to sound bad, but I think that black men tend to dress better than white men, and I think gay men dress better than all of them.
Yeah, and especially you're looking at men over 60.
Yeah, well, you could look right down at a man. I could tell a man right away if they're gay by looking down at their shoes. And if the man is over 60, I look down at his shoes and he's wearing like Buster Brown. That might be, my age thing. I don't know if anybody even knows what Buster Brown is. But Buster brown shoes with the square toes, and they don't match the rest of their clothes, chances are that they're straight. Because straight men have terrible shoes. And I saw on TV, it said that the average straight man has 3 pairs of shoes, brown, black, and maybe gray if they really are, daring.
I can imagine 3 pairs of shoes.
3 pairs of shoes. I have hundreds. I mean, in every color that you can imagine. I have pink, purple, yellow, green, you name it. I have stripes and stars. And I was telling my friend the other day that whenever I see shoes that are on color, I buy them because you never know when you're going to need them to match something that you have. I got a pink jacket on, right?
You're very bold in your colors, but you're always very coordinated and very well put together.
I am very coordinated. I like to match.
Yeah.
I have a pink belt,
and people recognize.
So I do. I'm
kind of hit or miss.
I get a lot of compliments on my clothes, but I get a lot of looks too. That I know. I told you I was in the gallery once, and there was these 2 people who were probably younger than me. I say old men, but they're probably really way younger than me. And they had on like knee socks and sandals, and they looked real old. They were just dressed terribly. And he turned to his friend, and I had this that bright jacket on with all the colors, that looks like paint sprayed on it. The red, blue. It's very loud, but I wear it with black pants and a black shirt, so it's very conservative looking. But the guy goes, "Joe, would you ever be caught dead wearing that jacket?" And the guy goes, "No, I would not." And I was standing right there. And I started laughing. I really started laughing, but it didn't bother me. But I was surprised that anybody would make a comment about my jacket. I looked really good. It really did. It looked good. In my mind, it looked good. That's all that matters. I say wear clothes that make you happy.
Yeah.
And if people don't like them, screw it. I don't care. When you're 67, you can wear whatever you want. Wear whatever you want. Don't save something for a special occasion. You go into the store, get dressed up. You want to go to HEB, get dressed up.
See, and I like going sloppy. So I'm probably mislabeled as straight all the time because
maybe
because I dress so sloppy.
Well,
I need to go to HEB today, and y'all can't see in this, but I'm not really wearing pants. I'm wearing
but they're coordinated.
I'm wearing warm-up shorts because I knew you wouldn't see down here, and I need to go to HEB. I'm taking the shirt off, putting on a big old sloppy T-shirt, and going to go down to the store.
I just think you should wear whatever you're comfortable in. But you want to present yourself to be. I don't know. I just like getting. I don't like a lot of attention. I don't like bringing attention to myself. However, I do like clothes that bring attention. I will be honest.
Okay.
I do like people to notice my clothes, and I will say that many people say that when they're older, that the biggest problem they have is they feel invisible. I've heard that from people.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Quite often. Well, I don't feel invisible. But I guarantee you, when I go to the store in these shoes and this pink jacket and these pink pants, I'm not invisible. So, people notice me. They don't look through me at all.
Yeah.
So maybe I like that. I don't like being the center of attention. I'm at a party. I'm a wallflower. I like to be in the background. I don't mingle very well. I'm not a real social. Maybe I am social, but I'm not one to go up to strangers, and I would never talk to strangers in a bar or anything. So, I'm not.
Well, if maybe one takeaway from this, amongst all the things that we've talked about this evening, is if you're a single gay man over 60, maybe try a little harder if you're sloppy.
Yeah.
And maybe I need to try a little harder because I enjoy just being sloppy. Don't comb my hair, put on a baseball cap.
Something just popped in my head, though. I have to say that about meeting, approaching people that you don't know, in a bar. I would never do that. But I'm not even successful like him. I were to go to like a bathhouse. I won't even approach somebody that way. I'm very shy. I would not. So I'm not a very successful.
So what's a bathhouse?
Oh, please. I'm not. I don't go. I don't really like them. I mean, it's really not my thing because I'm not. I'm very. I just don't. I don't know. I fell down the stairs once. Anyway, it was really dark. You know how dark they are. And I went one time, and I went in, and you walk in, and I couldn't see anything. I was going down the stairs, and I fell, and I cut my knee.
The one that's still open now, or the one that
The one
used to be?
no, it's open. No, maybe it was the old one. That one that was real ratty looking.
Yeah,
inside.
that's now it's like an office building.
Yeah, what was that called?
Well, I wasn't going to say
Oof.
the name.
What's the difference? It's closed.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I don't mind telling people I went to a bathhouse. That's
Yeah.
not.
But I used to have a gym membership there.
But I don't. Please.
No, I did. Really, I really did.
That gym membership. That equipment is shinier and brand new.
Well, it's not there now. They don't even pretend. But
Well, they have it at spa. They have a gym.
No, they got rid of almost all the stuff.
Oh, really? See, I haven't gone.
When's the last time you've been there?
Oh, it's been a long time.
See, after the pandemic, I went to get my gym membership.
The only thing I like about spa is I do like the spa. The
hot tub. Yeah.
I do like the hot tub when it's cold. Because
have you been there since they built a new hot tub outside instead of the inside one?
Yeah, I've been to that one. But I have not. It's been a long time since I've been to spa. I'm not.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's just really not. I'm not that. I don't know. I'm not that comfortable.
Well, I like going and running on the treadmill, looking over the pool. I literally did.
You run on the treadmill.
I did. I literally did. 30 minutes on the treadmill.
You tell me you went to the
I had a
bathhouse
gym membership. That was the rule.
and be on the treadmill.
Yes, I went there. It was my gym where I worked out.
I'm sorry, I can't picture that. I'm sorry. You must have been the only one that's ever been on that treadmill.
No. And there are other. I can name names.
But it's not there anymore. You're saying.
No. And now there's just, it's like a seating area. People sit, and there are
big. That's a giant area.
I know, but that
so
used
now
to be,
it's a big seating area. What are they seeing?
Well, they still have some barbells, and it's open. And it's open now to the locker room.
Oh,
the locker room used to be separate.
I've seen that, but it's still there. Then the gym is still there in the middle.
Not like it was, because there was all the equipment. Just like a regular gym, everything there.
Well,
like 3 or 4 of everything, not 20. But
so now it's a seating area. What are they sitting at? What are they sitting at? What are they doing?
I don't know. I've never seen anybody sitting there.
Oh.
But anyway, that's a whole other thing.
Well, that's the only thing I like about the gym is the hot tub.
Okay. Well, I don't know how long this will end up being, but we have recorded over 45 minutes.
Oh, that's a long time.
Of raw video. Our goal is 30 to 45 minutes.
I mean, I really do have a neck. I think it's not a long neck.
Maybe a big gold chain.
But maybe I got to sit up straight.
Okay, since we're named after the Golden Girls, so when the Golden Girls, remember when Blanche was, which necklace should I wear? And says, well, do you want to draw attention to the...
Well, that was when they were making fun of Dorothy.
Yeah, they're making fun of Dorothy.
She said, do you want to draw attention to the barely there...
Non-existent bosom or something?
Or what else did they say? That she said, well, I'll just... Something about a hump in her back, on her back. That was a funny one. I remember that. Yeah, that was hysterical.
Well, that would be kind of good, so we could.
Right.
Okay.
I just feel like I need to sit up straighter or something, or have.
So what?
Maybe I need a filter. You know, I've seen those people use filters on these things, and they look fantastic. But then you don't want to see them without the filter.
Yeah. Well,
so I don't know
the equipment I'm using. We don't have filters. This is us raw and unedited. So we thank you for spending this time
I enjoyed
and watching it. And if you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe. Please. It is free to subscribe. Basically, if we're going to...
Are we on YouTube? What are we on?
Yeah.
So we're not on TikTok and Facebook. This is YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
I'm obviously not. He's the technology person. I'm not at all.
We're uploading to YouTube, but we have a Facebook page for it where I will post links to that.
Okay.
If you enjoy this, liking and subscribing and sharing it with your friends is the best way you can support us in doing this.
Send us comments if you want us to talk about something.
Yeah,
we'll talk about anything.
I'll post look right here. There'll be our email address if you want to send us an email. I think.
Is it going to be here?
Yes, I'm going to put it in here.
Oh, okay.
and I think it's the Golden Gaze Podcast at gmail.com.
The
That's
Golden Gaze,
the
okay,
Golden Gaze podcast.
Golden Gaze
but-
podcast at
but-
gmail.com.
But look what's written on the screen right here and not what I'm saying, because before I put it up, I'll make sure I'll put it correct.
Okay.
We also have our Facebook page for the Golden Gaze podcast. And if you're watching this, then you already have access to the Golden Gaze podcast YouTube channel. Click subscribe. If you're watching this, you're watching it the first Tuesday of July or after. And every Tuesday is when we're planning to release a new episode, and they'll be filmed
So
the
don't
week
miss
before.
next week, because we have some very interesting topics to talk about.
We do? What are they?
I'm not going to say, but I will say one thing. I got this thing in the mail. This is going to take a lot of guts. I decided that I wanted to buy one of those shape things, those shape shirts. What do you call them?
Oh, like a man girdle?
Yeah, but what is a name for them?
Spanx.
No, that's the brand. Anyway, all of a sudden I can't.
Shapewear.
Shapewear. That's what I want. So I got it, and I haven't used it yet. So I might even put that on and show them what it's going to look like.
Okay, all right.
I think that'll be fun to do. That's going to take a lot of nerve to do it, unless you want to do it, and I can watch.
Are you kidding?
But I mean, I want to see what it's going to do. Tiny. Okay, good night.
Thank you for joining us.
See you. Bye.